What if I told you there was a specific way to combine two stims together to reduce incoming damage by 50%?
Wait, how much damage was I doing?
19.
19? That's half.
What is happening here? This all started because I was investigating a rumor about the way that Maldonin and Dobos II work together, but we ended up finding out something else way more broken than even that. You see, the Dobos trick goes as follows. Dobos II, an enhanced version of the original stim, gives some of the most insane buffs in the game. 2 HP per second, 2 stamina recovery, a weight limit almost identical to the mule, and various stat buffs too, but it has one unfortunate downside: 80% increased damage taken except for the head. As you can imagine, this gets you one-tapped by all sorts of stuff, which stops many from using it, but the damage taken modifier has a fatal flaw: it cannot stack. Introducing Maldonin. Maldonin has the same category of modifier, damage taken, but in this case it's a positive, decreasing the damage that you take by 10%. With one of my mods, Easy8, we confirmed that indeed if you take a Maldonin first and pop the Dobos II second, the 80% damage increase fails to apply, and you basically get all of the stat buffs with just the downsides on the Maldonin, which is energy and hydration, and easily fixable. This was originally what this video was going to be about, but I wanted to extend the test slightly and discovered something absolutely insane. Maldonin and Dobos II aren't the only damage reduction stims. In fact, there are quite a few when you look. Both the original Dobos II itself, and the mule stim all come with damage increases, whereas on the positive side, we not only have Maldonin, but the P22 and the PNB stims as well. These are some of the least popular stims because they are so short acting, at 60 and 40 seconds, but in this case, it works to our advantage. My idea was to see what happens when the damage decrease buff disappears. This doesn't happen with Maldonin when combined with either variant of Dobos, at least for me, because Maldonin acts for 15 minutes and Dobos for 30. Because max metabolism, my only elite skill, halves stim debuff times, the downside on Dobos also runs for 15 minutes instead, and the positive buffs from Maldonin expires practically at the same time. This is clearly not the case for the other two stims though, so we took a PNB with its fast 40-second active time, showed the damage decrease firstly works, and secondly still blocks the damage increase from the Dobos II. Then, when it ran out, we tested the damage again to see what happens. According to our character stats, the only active effect on damage now should be the 80% increase, but when getting shot, practically the damage taken was, half of what it should have been. By the way, my Patreon subscribers at any level got to see this first, so if you think you'd enjoy my inside scoops, then consider supporting me at patreon.com/gigabeef. Over 90% of member contributions go to the creator on Patreon, which is much better than on Twitch or YouTube, so membership over there is super valuable to me. You can start from as little as $2.99, so go and check it out at patreon.com/gigabeef if you enjoy my content and want to support me whilst getting something back in return. So anyway, we were using a Golnik for the test due to its low damage and low frag chance, and rather than dealing 37 flesh, we consistently saw 19 across the board instead. Now obviously you can still get shot in the head and die just like normal. We checked this and the head is properly carved out like it says on the stim, but this combination is absolutely crazy. If you can wait 40 seconds for the PNB stim to go away, you end up like some kind of ridiculous super tank, and I can only presume that this works for P22 as well after the 60 seconds, although I didn't test that one specifically. Why this happens, I have no idea. It seems that the strange interaction between the two similar but opposing damage modifiers causes something to go haywire when the game tries to put the debuff back to normal, applying the damage debuff from the Dobos II the wrong way around. Either way, I imagine that this will get adjusted. It's not really game breaking as you can still be shot in the head, which is the majority of our deaths anyway, and these stims are probably going to become extremely expensive in the short term. But let's just think of it like another pre-wipe event. So next up, go and check out my thoughts on the timing of the next wipe. Otherwise, as usual, a big shout out to all my existing patrons, hit all the buttons if you enjoyed the video, and as always, have fun in your raids.